gotta see this. Yeah. Hey, I remember.
I'm Paul Warren.
And I'm Ryan Klein.
Welcome to another episode of SEO is Dead and
Other Lies. I don't think we even said that the last podcast. Do you remember saying SEO is Dead and Other Lies? I just remember saying, I'm Ryan Klein. You're like, cool, today
I
we're
absolutely said. You can pause this right now. You can go check it.
I don't care. Anyway, this is the second podcast today. It started raining. I'm only on beer number 2, though, so we're not that crazy.
Yeah, it's like...
This is super normal.
So,
whatever,
this is normal.
Casual.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about a really special topic. That's how to find domains. Quality domains for however you want to use them. You want to use them for redirects. You want to use them to build PBNs. You want to build your own website. Whatever. You decide what you want to do. We're just going to tell you how to find them.
Sure. Yeah, if you're like sick of going on auction sites and Flippa and all those other places.
We're going to talk about that.
But I'm saying that, like, we will. But all I'm saying is if you don't want to spend $500 or $1,000 on a website, you might have opportunities to find great websites without having to, like, actually do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we'll show you how to get... Well, we'll tell you. I'm not going to show you anything. We'll tell you how to get cheap ones.
I'm going to show you a damn
Find
thing.
cheap ones for maybe like $11, or if you get them on one-on-one, $2 for the year, and then they jack that up to like $14 next year.
I love the one-on-one model.
Yeah, I love it too.
$1.
So yeah, we'll tell you how to find good ones, what to use to check them, and how to get them cheap.
Okay, so scenario: we need a bunch of great domains. You want to pick a niche? Let's pick a niche.
Sure.
It is veterinarian.
Veterinarians.
Yeah.
And so I would probably want to find maybe other veterinarian websites.
Sure do.
Right? Or
Yep.
maybe just stuff that's about animals.
Okay.
Maybe old publications about animals. Who knows?
Sounds like a good starting
place
point.
to start.
Certainly does.
So there's a couple of ways you can do it. If you know absolutely nothing
About
I
anything.
don't really know why you're buying your domain, but let's assume you know like a little bit about SEO here, right? And you want a domain that has some metrics. So we're talking domain authority. We're talking some page rank. Not that anyone knows what that is anymore, but just stuff like that. That got some backlinks going to it that aren't spammy. So if you don't know how to find any of this stuff, well, you can always go to a service, right? You can go to like a legit.com. That's legiit.com. Or you can go to Conquer, or you can go on Fiverr.
Oh, they'll actually like do
I think people even sell stuff on eBay.
domains. So these people will be like headhunting for domains.
Yeah,
for
people
you.
will have these already for you.
Oh,
And
or you're not talking about they'll hunt them. They'll already have them.
They'll already have them, or you can say I need it in this space, and they'll find them.
They'll find
right.
them.
So this is like the absolute like fastest, easiest way for you to do it. Not necessarily cheapest, because they're going to charge you like whatever they're going to charge you for the metrics, and it's going to be more as the metrics get higher.
Yeah, just expect it to be like
expect to spend maybe
100. It could be like triple digits probably.
It really just depends, right? You can get some I won't say bottom of the barrel, but like maybe like a domain authority of 15 to 20.
You want more than
$40 a domain.
But you're gonna want more than that.
Yeah, you're gonna want some good stuff.
I will say that the one interesting thing about domains is that even if you go overseas and the foreigners that really are doing it, they're still gonna charge you. They still will.
They charge you US dollars.
Well, yeah,
sure.
But they
Living it up.
there is actual value, and it's projected in the prices easily.
Yeah. So, bottom of the barrel, you're going to have to, if they don't have a niche that and Black Hat World's another place you go. But
Sure.
if they don't already have a niche for you, you can always message the person, and they'll probably be able to find you something pretty easily.
I think one thing I want to say real quick, even though you said Black Hat World, there's absolutely really nothing Black Hat at all about just buying expired domains. So don't want anyone to be deterred.
In theory, there isn't.
No.
Now, what you do with those could potentially
Sure.
be Black Hat.
I don't
White
want anyone to perceive buying expired domains as being Black Hat at all, because people do it inadvertently, and they do it just naturally all the time.
Yeah,
so
maybe your name is a domain and someone had it and they let it go.
That's it.
There's nothing wrong
So
with that.
don't feel like you're doing anything wrong by buying expired domains. It just is white hat. There's nothing weird you could do about it.
No, we definitely do Black Hat stuff with these domains.
But that's
fine.
But acquisition isn't.
Yeah, that's not. So let's say you don't want to go this route. You want to find these on your own, or the person
Or you need
can't get you something.
Or you need 10 or 15.
Yeah, maybe you just want to get a bunch of them, and it's your cost prohibitive.
Yeah, it'd be like $1,000, right? So
yeah, you don't do that. So Ryan, how do you? Well, let's talk maybe about some automated ways to do it before we get into
automated ways.
Automated. So like maybe some tools out there that you can use.
I've used Python scripts that we wrote. So I don't think you want to go my route because I'll start.
We can mention that, but people.
I'll start talking about like.
Let's assume they don't know how to
Python scripts that do iterations through like list of domains. So let's not do that.
I mean, we can talk about that as like a more advanced thing towards the end of it. But like, let's say like a tool. Like I remember we had something that was like Source Revive, which I don't think it's around anymore. I wouldn't suggest using it, even if it is, because it didn't work at all.
I remember that. Remember we were really excited?
Yeah, oh, we got it. Because we didn't.
You know why? It just crawled really poorly. It didn't crawl properly.
But so for those listening, Source Revive was a tool offered from a guy named Alex Becker. A lot of people who are into SEO kind of know who that guy is because a lot of people started learning about SEO from his YouTube channel.
You like him?
I liked him.
I say I like him too.
I liked him.
Like him.
When I first saw his stuff, but I think he like kind of sold out. He stopped doing SEO and started just pushing products in like webinars, right?
Yeah,
and maybe that's just like the natural progression of.
I always thought he knew what he was doing though.
He did, yeah. So like the first time I learned how to use Scrapebox, the first time I learned how to use GSA, like a lot of tools was like from his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
He did a really, really good job of honestly like building like a tribe. Right?
If you want to be a reference, and hopefully you don't lose their loyalty to us and just go to him because this stuff is quality stuff.
A lot of people have watched his webinars, have used his products, has been used like Source Market, which is Conquer now.
Right.
And like he really. What people really liked about him is he was like genuine. He was easy to like listen to.
Well, you always like had good takeaways. You always felt like you like learned something at the end of it.
You definitely learned something at the end of it, and like he knew what he was doing. Like he was still practicing SEO.
I guess this is a nice shout out. I don't think we've had such a sweet shout out before.
Well, I mean, but like as this business grew, he stopped doing SEO and stopped caring about that.
That's how it goes.
He went into the business of teaching SEO stuff, right?
Yeah.
And sort of like with like Moz and Rand Fishkin's like the same way. Like he hasn't done SEO like in years, like for a client.
Now he dipped out. He's gone.
So. And I think there's just something like SEOs appreciate about someone who actually does versus like someone who teaches, right? So
yep. Heard.
But so off on that little tangent there about Alex Becker. But the other thing, he had this tool and it didn't really work very well, like a lot of his tools, sadly. But we were super excited. But you had to pay a monthly subscription. And generally speaking, there's a lot of tools out there. There's one I can't remember the name of right now. I used to use for like a really long time.
What was that?
I can't remember. the name of it.
What did it do though?
It did. So what it does is you can put in some keywords into this campaign, right? So it made the whole process easy for you. So you're like, I would like to find domains related to these like subjects. And then it searched through whatever like index it searched through.
It had like its own database or something.
Yeah, it had like a database of like. So I don't even know where it pulled that like data.
I think that they had their own crawlers that were trying to crawl. Well, it was just trying to like crawl the internet like Google does, and just like have a database of every URL that's out there, and then try to like organize them by keywords.
Yeah. So basically, it crawled through the internet. It found like older domains. It checked to see if the domains, based on like the keyword. Was registered with like GoDaddy or whatever registrant it was using, and if it wasn't, it would give you back that result, and then you could set parameters for it, like filters, like I wanted domain authority blank, between blank and blank, or whatever, and it would just give you back those.
I think what it was doing was just crawling websites, and it was finding dead domains through crawling live domains, and then added it to a database.
That is what it was doing.
And it basically had its own proprietary database that it kept on trying to pull information from. But the
domains were like just always bad.
But it was just bad. It was a limited database that maybe it never grew.
I think that's what the problem was, and so and like a lot of the stuff was like spammed out, so there wasn't anything to like tell you if the link, like the domains were super spammy. Well,
do you remember like when we knew it stopped like kind of working because we would like type in unrelated keywords and you'd keep on seeing the same domains. It'd be like fflynn.com for legal, fflynn.com for gym equipment,
for anything,
and you're like, this doesn't look good.
So that wasn't really worth the $100.
It was pretty expensive too.
$60 a month that we were paying for it. But to be honest with you, if you get a tool like this. And it's easy to find tools like this. You just Google like PBN software or anything like that.
And Google's like, go right ahead.
Yeah, but like you're gonna have to pay a monthly subscription for this kind of stuff.
Sure.
And usually the better the job it does, the more costly it's going to be. But fortunately, we have some techniques that aren't going to cost you a dime. We're going to go into probably. You want to go into these now?
Yeah, I don't mind talking about like my go-to.
Yeah, our go-to.
I mean, yeah, okay. This is how I like doing it. I mean, I don't have to mention exactly like where I do it because it applies to a lot of places. But basically, there are.
You can use any directory site.
You can use any directory website. So the whole thing is that you want to go to directory websites. Anything that was like a huge directory back in the day. I think the first thing that I did this with, the first directory I did this with was YP, and then back in the day it was probably just yellowpages.com. And so basically all we did is you drop like a directory that's been around for a while, 10, 15 years, and you drop in a Wayback Machine, and then you go back to 2003, 2004, and then it organizes by category, so you're able to go through the category that you want.
You can find.
And then you just start.
That niche.
Yep, you just start clicking all the links to all the websites, and a lot of them are going to be down. So and that's the whole starting point.
Well, to speed up the process a little bit here, so like,
yep,
this is going to take a long time if you're doing it like this. So we can give them a little more heads up. Like
okay,
right?
So
you find a nice page way back in the day, in the Wayback Machine, and that's really the beauty of like Wayback Machine and directories is like they have so much data like stored.
It's a ton. Well, because they were getting crawled. Well, if it was a big directory, Wayback was crawling it multiple times a day.
Yeah. So, you can go in there. You find a page with a bunch of links for the niche that you're in, or niche, depending on if you're British or American. Niche. So you view page source, copy all those links off that bad boy. You're gonna throw it into a spreadsheet. And
okay, so you're talking about
a little bit of Excel magic.
Talking about what I did to the next. Well, it was because I did the source code.
That's what I did.
Okay, so you do
source.
So you do the source, and then you want to
pull that ish off there, and you're going to just pull off the domain URLs for it.
Yep.
And then you're going to have to use a little bit of Excel skill if you don't know how to like kind of push stuff aside or like
delete before and after.
Things.
Yeah.
You're going to have to learn, right?
Not hard.
Difficult.
Not hard, guys. Not hard.
Not hard at all.
Don't worry about it.
So but the whole point of it is you want to single out just the domains on that page, right? That potentially may be broken, may not be registered anymore. But you know what? You do know that for the most part, they might be pretty good because they have links going to them already from old websites like this directory.
Yeah, I mean, if they were on Yellow Pages, that's probably not the only place that they were at.
Yep.
Like they were probably like a little bit proactive with what they had going on.
Here's what you're going to do next, and this is really useful. So you're going to take all those domains. I would probably lump them into like no more than like groups of 50. 50
is the number that I had in mind.
Yeah, and then
unless you have a supercomputer,
you're gonna Google something. You're gonna go to the Google machine, right? You're gonna find a URL opener. Mm-hmm. There's tons of free ones.
They're all free.
They're all free. I've never seen a paid one, or even you.
Can you imagine?
Log in to use one.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know how they even really make them. Anyways, but you go to like one of those. You're going to pop in all those URLs. You're going to hit open, and they're going to open every single one of those URLs all at the same time. Mm-hmm. And then you're just going to like look at each one and see if like, hey, is it still a website? Is it still like an active website? Is it not registered? Is it broken? So you're going to single out the ones that like aren't registered.
Yeah.
And the ones that are broken. You're going to take those.
Well, there's only one response that's like it's not registered. Because you have like if it's refusing to connect, it's still a website. Like it's still owned. If it's temporarily down, it's still owned. The only one that is officially not purchased it says not found. It says like this is not found.
Well, you can get landing pages for the registrant. It's like hey, this isn't owned.
Yeah, but you don't want those ones.
Why not?
Wait, the ones where like the domain's for sale?
Yeah. But you can get them really cheap sometimes too.
Oh, really?
It just depends.
I don't even bother. I just keep going.
It just depends. So
are you saying that I should like actually look into those?
I've gotten really good domains from them.
So you think that like if like this is for sale, like please inquire, but like the
DA
DA was like 40, and you're like, oh damn.
You might have something like that, and they're like $400, and then you. Here's one thing too. Whatever someone has as a price for a domain on a registrant, like
you get
that
it for
is not what they will. You can buy it for way less than that.
You can get it for easily a fifth. Of what they're asking.
I remember working at a job. We wanted this domain. They wanted $50,000. Do you know what we ended up paying for it?
5,000?
No, 12,000 for two.
I just said a fifth. I wasn't too far off.
We were launching like a brand new brand.
But like I said, a fifth of what the asking is not that uncommon.
Yeah, like the thing is, like, don't let that like fool you. Don't let them like trick you out. Like,
well, I wish I had $100.
So, but you can find some really high quality websites, old domains like that way. But going back into it, you're gonna locate those ones that like seem like they're not registered, or like they're not like currently being owned, and just pop those bad boys in like GoDaddy or One or anything that you want to do to see if they're like for sale.
Yep.
And then if they are available and they're a price range that's super cheap, a lot of times it'll be $11. Then you're going to take that bad boy and you're going to throw it right into Open Site Explorer.
Well, let me just tell you like just one step though. So like let's say you're like going through the process and you're keeping a sheet of all the ones that says aren't found. Let me just preface, the not found ones are the only response that has a likelihood of being completely available, but keep in mind that those also could be purchased too. So let's say you do like, you do this a bunch of times and you go through it and then you have like 40 domains that are all not found. I use GoDaddy's bulk domain purchase tool. So you can drop like 40 URLs.
That is a way, and then it'll talk a little bit too about how to speed up this process, because there's a lot of things you can do. I'm giving you like, if you don't know how to do like any of this stuff, like you don't, like there's like streaming frogs, I think you can use to like run through these things.
You'll talk about that one after this.
There's a lot of like there's a lot of ways to optimize this process, but if you don't know any of this stuff, this is like
the end goal is really to have scripts for everything, but you have to know how to do a couple of things.
So if you don't know how to do that,
or you always can go on Upwork and be like, hey, can someone write something in Python real quick that does this thing?
Or you could just learn a little Python and do it yourself.
That's not as easy. That'd be among the more complicated things about anything.
Just be better. That's what we're trying to say.
Just open your mind.
So,
but like I said, the bulk domain search is like how you can drop like 100 domains into GoDaddy real quick, and it'll be like instantly, it'll be like 40 are available, and then you can copy and paste those immediately.
So and then you can see really quickly the cost, what really makes sense, and then but you don't want to end it there. You want to go like another step.
You want to check what they're good. Yeah,
you want to see the domain authority, page authority. Not really matters that much, but those are all good things. And you want to look at the backlink profile, so you can use Ahrefs. You can kind of use
SEMrush is fine for that.
SEMrush is fine. I was gonna say you can kind of use Open Site Explorer, I guess. It's like the worst one, in my opinion.
It's like everyone says, and all SEOs are correct about this. For the most part, every single tool is going to get different links. Like if you want a big picture, you do typically do a few different tools.
Yeah, and then the last thing that you want to look at is going to be something that's in a tool called Majestic. I don't believe they have a free plugin anymore.
It's not. I don't think it is.
Premium.
Man, we were using the crap out of that.
Yeah,
it was really nice.
It was great. But so there's a thing called trust flow and citation flow. So do you want to talk a little bit about? Do you want to break down like what that is?
Citation flow and trust flow?
Yeah.
I mostly just look at trust flow, to be honest. No, I don't. That's not true. I actually look at citation flow.
Yeah. You really want to look at both, right?
Well, so like citation. Well, the thing is that citation flow makes like more sense. Trust flow, I think, is just too like ambiguous about
But let's talk about like the scale that they're on, right? They're like on a scale of like 1 to 100.
Well, as far as I know, that it's affected a lot by how many links you have coming compared to referring domains. Is a huge factor for citation flow.
The trust flow is just the aggregate trustworthiness of the domains linking to you.
Right.
Right. And then the citation flow, right, is just the overall.
Well, there's like situations where like if you have a ton of links but your referring domains are too low, it like throws those metrics off unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So like it would do like this weird thing where even if all your links came from just like American Express and like Forbes and Wikipedia, if you only had like 3 or 4 referring domains and like 400 links, it'd be like, this is weird. And so you don't like always want to follow that metric either.
I think that trust flow is more important than citation flow, because I think like you're gonna have a higher domain authority from
I'm gonna have to disagree. I've just looked at like out of like the thousands of websites I looked at. I just felt like the trust flow was too erratic.
But anyways, what you really want is like a 1-to-1 ratio.
You'd like for them to be similar.
Ultimately, yeah. So like, and you're not gonna find a lot of these, by the way. It's very rare that you find like something that like has a 20 trust flow and a 20 citation flow.
Yeah, not very often.
But like the higher the better. And the closer to a 1-to-1 ratio is the better. So you really just want to look at those backlinks you want to use that as like something to judge like kind of the spamminess of it and like how much value like it's gonna be giving you from its old backlinks.
Yeah, and like if you're looking at the backlinks and it's just like, oh, there's like .de, there's .uk, there's .au, and like there not that many or even like American domains. It's like, I don't know. That might be like a reason to pass.
Okay, so you looked at all that. And
but there's one more thing I look at.
Oh, what's that?
I actually weigh back the domain again.
I was just about to say that.
And if the website, and if the well that, but I don't want to like go into that whole thing. But the thing is if it became like too many spammy blogs, or if it was like Japanese, Korean, Chinese in the past
as a PBN at some point in between,
you might not want to do it.
Like I see that all the time.
I mean, if it used to be a porn website, forget it.
Don't do that.
If it used to be a gambling
loans, keep in mind of like what things are sort of frowned upon right now too in Google, and like payday loans are like one of the like go look at what's banned from like AdWords. And then just stay away from that.
Like if you find a great domain, you're like, man, this would be amazing. And you way back it, and 3 years ago it was like a porn website. Google's gonna be like, I'm pretty sure you were a porn website, and that's what happens.
And that happens. Yeah, that's really, and you're gonna be out with some money.
Yeah,
hopefully not a lot of money, but yeah. So that's a really quick, I would say, pretty quick way to find some high quality domains. For you to use any way that you want to use by the niche that you're interested in getting them in. You will like even to this day, you'll find like some pretty sweet stuff. Like I found all sorts of great stuff. And the beauty with like expiring domains is every day, like millions of domains expire. They're available. Millions of like websites that used to exist go away every single day. They're there for the taking.
It's hard. You know what though? Like I'm convinced that overseas, what a lot of people are like in this domain game, they must have so many alerts for tens of thousands of domains expiring that are good.
Yeah.
Because they do, the thing is like when you only have so much manpower like us, you're only kind of seeing like what expired then, but for them, they're actively seeking domains that are expiring soon.
Yeah.
And then they put alerts on all of them.
I love that you brought that up because we needed to sort of segue into that. So what we told you is a really good way to find domains that potentially haven't been live websites for like a long time, right? And that's not necessarily like what you want to find. Maybe you want to find a website that was just very recently a website.
More than likely.
Yeah, like because there's a freshness aspect to it. There's a freshness to the links and the content that was on there.
Right.
So some of the services that you can use to find stuff like that, Moonsy is one.
Ooh, I like Moonsy.
Moonsy's great. It's paid now. It used to be like completely free. But basically,
is that so?
And like, how does it spelled? M-O-N-S.
Why? Moonsy.
I think it's E-Y.
No way.
Moonsy, yeah. Anyways,
just Google right now, and you're gonna know who's wrong.
I'm gonna find out soon. But tell them a little bit about like what Moonsy is like.
Moonsy just like offers research on a lot of metrics. Very simply, that you typically need like kind of a tool. I know I was right.
Moonsy.com. Moonsy.com.
But it does like some Moz stuff,
and
actually.
You don't get any affiliate money if you do any of this stuff.
Go to Moonsy and use promo code what? But it does DA, it does PA, it does Moz, it does very just like on the surface stats. Like it's not gonna do anything crazy, but it'll be like
you can search by keyword if you want. You can sort by domain authority. You can sort by like page authority. You can search by a lot of things really, like when it's about to expire, by price. All that stuff. But it's real time.
Does it do expiration dates for domains? It's know what?
All I don't know. It's like auctions work a little differently because like they're
it does
for them expire, and then I think once the auction expires, it goes back to whoever owns like large companies own a whole bunch of domains, right? Like domain vendors or whatever you want to call them, brokers, like have a bunch.
God, they have so many.
And like if they don't get anything, it just reverts back to like the owner, and they probably auction it again and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Moonsy's a really good place. What's another one, like Domcop?
What was the second one?
Domcop.
Time Cop?
Domcop.
No, obviously I don't know what it is. Well, Moonsy's just really good at like spitting out like really quick information. It'll be like, has this many referring domains, it has this many links, it has this trust flow, it has this citation flow. Like it's just like go to like real quick. Like for no charge apparently.
Domcop is pretty much very similar to like Moonsy. It's like all pretty much paid though. and you can just like you can buy expired domains, but they include like a lot of like stuff about the domain, like a lot more than what you get on Mozy.
This domain is fresh, smells like the new car.
Traps like backlinks, like citation flow, trust flow, like all the stuff from Majestic. It's a pretty good tool to check all that kind of stuff out. Like right now they have a bunch of really pretty good stuff on here right now.
I mean, the thing with domains is, of course, you're going to find a bunch that are just business names, and those are going to be the ones that you don't really use for projects. Those are going to be the ones that you use probably for redirects.
Yeah.
So if you get ones that are like, obviously, this is just like something that I would never be able to brand myself, you could use that for like redirects. You could use that for other things. But then you're going to find things that you can easily brand like yourself, though.
Yeah. And then GoDaddy auctions is another way to like find them. That's like pretty easy. I will say
that's like, it's expensive though, because they take a huge they take a huge cut too.
Yeah. I would say GoDaddy Actions is probably the most expensive way of doing it.
Yeah.
I will say too, if you are planning on using these for like illegal means, I won't say
illegal.
Illegal. Black.
Oh.
Not illegal.
God, I don't think of anything illegal.
Put you in Google jail. No, like black hat means you're not gonna want to have like the account with your name, like all of these under one account.
But
so,
I've heard all that crap's getting eliminated though. I don't know enough about it.
I would totally not.
I mean, I still wouldn't do it, but I don't think people need to get as hung up as they normally were about it. Like as bad as I was like 4 or 5 years ago.
I mean, like setting up a different name and address.
Like 100 email accounts.
Yeah, I still, for the most part, do that way.
You're just paranoid.
I am paranoid. That's how you stay safe. So those are some pretty good ways to find mine. You can, if you do a lot of these ways, you can come up with some pretty good ones that you've gotten really cheap. You don't have to buy them, honestly. You can just find them, and then you can set up like a vendor account on something like Legit or Conquer and just sell them to people.
Yeah, but we've never been able to do that before. We've tried and
never set up vendor accounts.
I mean, I've set up like Excels, and I gave them the PADA, I gave them the industry, and like they got like 0 bytes.
I mean, if you didn't like set up a vendor account on those sites, though.
I guess not.
No. I think you just posted in the Facebook that we were in.
I guess that didn't matter. I saw people like in the Google Sheet kind of snooping around, and then nothing happened.
Yeah. But people do sell these and make money on them all the time.
Well, once you start getting like DAPs...
Don't let Ryan discourage you.
Well, you should have better dreams than this. You should do better stuff. This is like all supplemental to your SEO. This is not like your livelihood. But as far as like DAs, PAs, I mean, we found like 40 plus before. And when you do, that's like freaking celebration time.
Only a couple times have I found a DA of 40 plus.
I've found tons of 30 plus though, tons and tons, hundreds and hundreds. So it's possible. Even with the domain farms that are out there and God knows where, you can still like hop in there and go around.
All right, so thanks guys. I think we covered everything that you would need to find domains on your own right now and start using them or selling them, or just finding some good quality domains.
I don't think it's a good business venture.
I don't think so either. But maybe if you want to use it for your own thing, maybe redirect them or just build a cool website.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't know. If you find like a bunch of domains, you're having a lot of success. Oh, you remember what I used to call finding domains? I used to call it looking for treasure. I used to call it treasure hunting.
Treasure hunting.
That's what I always called it because
it is. You know what? It's like kind of fun. Well, it really is.
Well, because when you find like good ones, you're like, man, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And so you know what? I don't know. If you find a bunch of good domains and then you used all the ones that you needed and you want to throw it in an Excel spreadsheet and you want to try to share it with some people, freaking go for it.
Go for it. Maybe make some money.
Sell them for like $10 or $15. You might get some bites here or there. Yeah. Who knows? Probably not, though. Don't get your hopes up.
So, we wanted to just thank everyone listening right now because we have at least verified 100 downloads on one service.
You said your mom was like, what, 50 of them?
I mean, downloads, man.
I guess you're right. Yeah, shoot.
Also be sure to check us out on YouTube and hit subscribe over there. And we always add every podcast on YouTube for you guys to listen to. We love comments. Feel free to leave something, and we'll probably mention it here.
Yeah, drop a comment.
It's too terribly insulting, and then we'll just probably
like you suck is just like I know.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
what's
We
the
already
point?
knew that. Also, if you ever want to like come on the podcast and like be interviewed or just talk about SEO stuff, we'd be thrilled to like kind of have people on here and talk to them. especially like listeners that have cool SEO stuff they can share.
We like horror stories too.
Yeah, we love SEO horror stories. You want to just vent about some clients? Use it for like cathartic reasons.
Yeah, just come on and just start screaming.
Man, do that too.
I
think that shit's interesting. I want to hear about it. And check out our website. Not really. Don't check it out yet.
I think it's SEOsdeadcast.com.
SEOsdeadcast.com. We haven't really. It's dead for the most part.
Yeah, it's about as dead as SEO is.
We have other projects we're working on. This is a side thing we do for fun.
I mean, we're doing this on Saturday.
No one's paying us.
For F's sake.
Just for fun. Just for gigs. But hopefully that'll be up pretty soon, and you guys can get in contact with us there as well.
Cool. I think that about wraps up.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. I'm Paul Warren.
And I'm Ryan Klein.
And this has been another episode of SEO is Dead.
And Other Lies.
Bye.
All right, bye, guys. Bye.